Well, there's tons of questions around the Chicago Bears and some of their position groups. Pro Football Focus has raised a question about the Chicago Bears linebacking core. We're going to talk a little bit about that and what player is the biggest reason why they question that core. Plus, we're going to dive into the mailbag. All that plus more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go and get into this content for today, y'all. And so Pro Football Focus has been going through ranking position groups for teams. We talked about how highly they favor the Chicago Bears offensive line, especially the interior offensive line, saying that the Bears had the best guard duo in the NFL. We then turned around and talked about the doubt that they had around the Chicago Bears defensive line. Well, now they talked about the Chicago Bears linebacker position group, and they rated the Chicago Bears linebackers 14th overall. And I tell you what, I don't take that necessarily as a slight. I really don't. I think that the Bears linebacking core, especially with not having their strong side linebacker soared up yet, Tremaine Edmonds, being on that team and not being as good as what the Bears had hoped for him to be, raises some questions in that as well. Being 14th, kind of more towards the upper half of the league, I'm not necessarily mad at that. Now, one of the things that they say is this: the Bears are will be hoping for a bounce back campaign from two highly paid veteran linebackers. Tremaine Edmonds hasn't been able to reach the heights of his outstanding 2022, where he earned an 81.9 PFF overall grade. In 2 seasons with Chicago, Edmonds has posted a below average 57.5 PFF overall grade. TJ Edwards played very well in 2023, but notched a career-worst 60.7 PFF overall grade last season. New defensive coordinator Dennis Allen will need to extract better production out of their pair, considering the lack of experience behind them. Now, listen, and this is why PFF grades aren't the end-all, be-all. To say that TJ Edwards played bad last year, he did not. Now, TJ Edwards wasn't able to make as big of an impact as he had in some other years, mainly because of the defense overall having injuries on it and things being down and stuff like that. But I think overall, there is reason to look at this linebacking core and wonder what they're going to be. Now, Tremaine Edmonds is one of the biggest questions here. And we've made a lot and talked a lot here about Tremaine Edmonds and what he can be for the Chicago Bears team, how he needs to step up in 2025 as well, and how he's a cut candidate for this in the offseason between now and the 2026 season. And that's because of how much money the Bears can save by waiving him and probably go out there and get somebody who's better suited to the way that the Bears want to play. But this year under Dennis Allen is going to be key. What you can bring here under Dennis Allen is going to be the focus here, and how much growth can Dennis Allen get out of these guys. And overall, that's what you're looking at Dennis Allen and his defensive staff overall, is how much better can they get out of these guys under their scheme and their system. But there's no doubt that you're going to need some step-ups from your linebacker core. The whole front seven for the Chicago Bears has to be better in the run game, right? They absolutely have to be better in the run game. And I think that strong side linebacker production is going to be big there, where there's Ruben Hippolyte, where there's Noah Sewell, but also how Dennis Allen likes to line up cornerback sometimes as the strong side linebacker, as that third linebacker as well, is going to be key just to the schematic part of it overall. And I think that's what it comes down to. When you look at Tremaine Edmonds, of course, Tremaine Edmonds just has to be better. And I don't want to beat up on Tremaine Edmonds when it comes down to it, but Tremaine Edmonds was one of the guys that Matt Eberflus really felt that Tremaine Edmonds was going to be essential to how he ran his defense. And now with Matt Eberflus no longer on the team, Tremaine Edmonds is in a place now where he's going to have to perform and find his path under a different coach with a different mindset and different mentality when it comes down to what he wants from his linebacking core. And that's just the end-all be-all when it comes down to it. So, Tremaine Edmonds could be the piece that just does not end up fitting in, and that is what it is. Now, TJ Edwards, like I said, I have no knocks on TJ Edwards. Not to say that he's perfect or anything like that, but TJ Edwards is the one thing that's holding up the production from that group. And so even if you want to look at 2024 being a bit of a step back for him, I think there are legitimate reasons for that, being at how the defense overall performed, the injuries on that defense, the play calling on that defense. There was a lot that went into that. That defense not necessarily being what the Bears hoped and what Bears fans hoped it would be last season, but now you're trying to correct that ship. And we'll see what ends up happening when it comes down to that. I think overall the Bears have an opportunity here. And they have an opportunity now to try to really establish a defense and a defensive identity that is more conducive to this team and what this team could be. And if they do that, great. So we'll see what happens here if the Bears decide to do something, or if the Bears can get better out of this. And if they do, we shall see, man. I hope that the Bears overall can do something, and this defense can really start being and having that identity. Not to say that we're going to be the monsters of the Midway again. I would love for that moniker to be able to come back organically for this team, but I think overall you just need to have an identity as a defense. And if you have that identity, we'll see what happens there. But let me know what you guys think on it down below. The linebacking, how confident are you in the Bears linebacking core and the rotation this year? Let me know what you guys think on that down below. There was a recent article from Sports Illustrated in which they outlined a trade idea for the Chicago Bears to shore up their running back room some. And they had the Chicago Bears making a big trade for James Cook. Now, I've said it before, and I don't like to really kind of talk about these things, mainly because I think sometimes it can instill false confidence or thought process in the fan base that doesn't have time necessarily to look at all of this and think that the Bears, that things are more realistic than what they are. So I want to be clear here. This is nothing but a speculation from a writer on something that the Bears could do based on how things are going right now. But reportedly that James Cook is not happy with his contract extension. He's heading into the final year in his rookie scale contract, and he's looking for an extension, and it seems like they are a little bit hesitant to give it to him. Again, the market for running backs, all those things come in it. He's coming off back-to-back Pro Bowl seasons. Last year, he finished with 16 touchdowns, and the Buffalo Bills don't have a lot of cap space, and he could end up being a player that they are going to be forced to deal mainly just because of the cap space there. But we've seen teams find creative ways to keep players before. But the Sports Illustrated article did talk about two teams, the two teams swapping running backs, and the fact that DeAndre Swift for Cook, of course, you would have to give up some capital in that as well, right? Both running backs are 25 years old. Swift has 2 more years remaining in, 2 more years in the league over what Cook has when it comes down to that one. But I think overall, like, he's still under contract into the 2027 season. And so while he's proven himself to kind of be a solid enough guy there, maybe they could look at that and say, hey, we can save some money. We still have some solid production there. And that's what the thought process is. Here's what I really do feel like overall, people aren't really realizing that the Chicago Bears are content where they are to see what they have here before giving up assets and making a swing. Now, I want to be clear here. If Ryan Poles did want to invest the money to go out and get a James Cook, I'm not going to be mad at that at all. This is a guy that 5'11", 190 pounds, solid enough in both the run and the pass game as well. He's coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Last year had 16 total touchdowns. He only had a combined of 4 total his 2 years prior to that. He also had 2 touchdowns in the receiving game as well, with 258 yards, an average of 8.1 yards per reception there. For his career, he averaged 9.1 yards per reception. I can see James Cook being a running back in Ben Johnson's system that works. I think it pairs well with Roschon Johnson as well, but I don't know if the Bears are going to be willing to do something like that as it stands right now. I get it that the Bears have some cap flexibility. They can make some moves happen if they want to. They can restructure some things if they decide to do so as well. But I think that this is a Bears team that's content with seeing what they have at the running back position and then waiting to next offseason to make a bigger swing, whether it be in the draft or whatever else, to get something done. We'll see. And the money that Cook is looking for could be the determining factor there, as the Bears have been very protective over their overall salary cap and money, preparing for the eventual Caleb Williams extension, which I think plays a part into that. Plus, do they really want to take DeAndre Swift for James Cook? If they were willing to do that, I mean, if that's straight up, it's highway robbery. If you got to start including assets, maybe that's where you get into some different things at. But it was just an interesting article that I read, and it does show that there are some options out there for the Bears. And Ryan Poles is a guy that does keep his head up. He likes to keep a little bit of cap space as well to make a swing if he decides that he needs to do something like that. And, there's still that chance that the Bears coming out of training camp or coming out even maybe the first few weeks of the season realize, hey, listen, this running back room is cool behind what we have with the improved offensive line, but we really think that we can be great if we get a better running back now. And maybe Ryan Poles listens to that and goes out there and tries to acquire a guy like that. Now, I think it's probably seldom to none that he does that, but I've learned to never count out Ryan Poles completely on what he could do. And I guess we'll see what happens. But let me know down below. James Cook, if the Bears were to try to swing a trade for the young running back, do you think that would make some sense for this Bears team? And what would you be willing to give up if it meant getting him in here and the Buffalo Bills being willing to part with him? Let me know what you guys think on that down below. It is Friday. That means it is Mailbag Day. Let's get into these voicemails, man. This one's from K2.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? I know it's been a minute, man, but I want to call in real quick, man, because I got something I want to say, man. And I know a lot of people ain't been talking about it, but I got confidence in it, man, and that's our strength of schedule. See, a lot of people think the Bears are going to be normal this year once again because we're the Bears and all this blah, blah, blah. But I believe with this coaching staff that we have right now, and I mean right now, I don't even think it's going to matter the strength of schedule, bro. I think we going to bring it and win a lot of surprising games this year. Now, I don't know how many wins we going to have, man, but I do know for sure we will make the playoffs because if you look at what we've been doing the last few years, we've kind of been trajecting up. It's just we haven't been winning games, and that's just due to stupid coaching. We all know that as Bear fans, bro. Our coaching staff has been mediocre at best for the last, really, since Lovie Smith left, bro. We ain't really had, even in 2018, bro, when we won, I believe 12 or 13 games, bro. We were still kind of questioning our coaching staff, bro, and then a few years later, we were kind of right. But I just don't think that our strength of schedule matters this year, bro. I think we going to bring it on defense, and we going to surprise a lot of people on offense by actually being good and actually executing and actually looking like we know what we're doing. And it's going – I ain't going to say it's going to scare a lot of people. I just think it's going to be respectable when we come in, bro. They're going to respect who we are, bro. We might get punched in the mouth, but I believe we going to punch right back. We might go down 10, 15, 17 points sometimes, but I believe we going to come back in those games, bro. I believe this is a year where we actually see a good season and we actually see Chicago Bears Central calling a playoff game. I believe it. I'm praying on it. This is how I feel, man. I ain't going to get crazy like I did last year and say we're going to the Super Bowl, but playoffs for sure. And one more thing, man. I just want to real quick talk about Darius. I always hear you call in, man, and we love you, brother. Him Central, Chicago Bears Central, man. But I always thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, I always thought you were a white guy. I do not know, and I still could be wrong, but I saw a live that pulled up your comment, and you look like a light-skinned dude with waves. I don't know, man. It threw me off, man. It just baffled me. But hope y'all having a good day, and I hope y'all have a better weekend. Chicago up, Bear down.
Yeah, strength of schedule is right now is based off last season. And so that can ebb and flow and wildly change once the season gets started. So yeah, you're right in that one. Now, I do think guaranteeing the playoffs is quite a bold prediction there, brother. But I love that your confidence in this team. And I do think we do have a coaching staff now that we can believe in. We have a coaching staff now that feels like they're competent in not only the way they want to execute, but also how they want to use players. And having that vision, that's something that we've lacked under Matt Eberflus, right? So I think that is something that we have there. And the coaching staff is like an X factor that you can't really determine how much a coaching staff is really going to elevate a team, especially in year one before you really get a chance to see them. But if this coaching staff does elevate from what we saw from these players last year, there's no reason not to believe that the Bears aren't going to contend for a playoff run. We just got to see what the Bears are going to do. It's all going to be told on the field sooner rather than later. That's the part I can't wait for because, yeah, you can drive yourself crazy thinking about what the possibilities are. I'm just ready to start seeing bodies on the field and see what we actually can get done as a team. That's what I'm excited to see, and I hope that we do get that done. But you guys can let me know how you feel on that one down below. Oh, as far as Darius, by the way, Darius is black. He's just country. That just is what it is. He's just super country, but he's definitely black. He's just country as hell. But all right, let's get into this next one, man. This one's from BC.
What up there, Brother Hayes? This your man, BC. You know I'm always right. Hey, check it out, man. I know it's the off season. It's slow. But here's something I haven't heard people really talk about a lot lately. We got rid of Tevin Jenkins because he was hurt too much. He missed a lot of games, and we couldn't count on him. Even though we knew for a fact Tevin Jenkins was a beast when he was on the field. But then we pick up Jonah Jackson. You realize since in the last 3 seasons, Jonah Jackson played less games than Tevin Jenkins. Why would we get rid of Tevin Jenkins for Jonah Jackson? And Jonah Jackson played less games. Be less reliable. If that dude get hurt, Jonah Jackson, are we really solid with the offensive line? I know we saying our offensive line is beefed up, but who behind Jonah Jackson? Ryan Bates? That dude hurt too. Are we really solid on the offensive line with our depth? And why we get rid of Tevin Jenkins for a dude who been hurt more than he has? Just something to think about. Bear down to the world blow up.
All right, so you're right. Listen, as far as why Jonah Jackson over Tevin Jenkins, and you made the point that Tevin played more games, and that's just based off last year. They basically played the same amount of games to Jonah Jackson had his injury last year and played only 4 games, but I think it's the ceiling. Jonah Jackson is a proven all-pro player. Tevin Jenkins, while good, isn't going to be able to has not been able to get there yet. And I think you wanted to bet on the thing. It's not like Jonah Jackson is extremely old either. And if you look at the money that would have been taken to lock in Tevin Jenkins potentially as a contract extension, that's why. They went with the player that is more proven, that has done it before and done it at a higher level. It's not just about injuries. Jonah Jackson is a better player than Tevin Jenkins. Now, and part of that is the consistency. And when you don't switch his positions, he's shown he can be great at what he does. So I think that's the part that plays into it. Yeah, I would love to see Tevin Jenkins be here, but I think that injury was part of it. It wasn't just injury. It was also some performance. It was also some of raising your floor. And Jonah Jackson does that because he's more consistent. Yeah, the injuries are going to be a thing, but that's going to be a question either way. That was going to be a question whether you have Jonah. That's always for any offensive lineman. Injuries are a question. So I think that's a part that plays into it and why the Bears felt more comfortable with Jonah over Tevin. And I think it just was time. And hopefully Tevin's able to correct his career, stay healthy, because I think Tevin can still have a hell of an NFL career. Just won't be here. All right, let's move into the next one, man. This one's from Keys.
Yo, it's your boy Keys, man, on this lovely Tuesday evening, man. Hope all is well with you and yours. With that being said, let's get it. There's been a lot of talks made of Cole Kmet. I watched the episode today, Hayes. Always, all you guys, phenomenal job, great content. Keep it coming. There's a lot of phenomenal things. Well, not phenomenal, but like idiotic things, I shall say. Making it of trading Cole Kmet, and just to be completely blunt and honest, I don't understand why when we get depth and we get a guy that can scheme and do everything we need to do, why the hell would we want to get rid of that piece right now? I'm not saying that it's not impossible to trade him or even the talks of DJ Moore, which I'm still scratching my head at because this was a guy that I knew could come to this team and be that number 1 receiver. Rome and Luther are still trying to find their surface, and I think it's beneficial for them to learn from DJ how to be a number 1 receiver, how to fit into the mold and do what they need to do. Of course, he needs to get better at body language and all that stuff like that. But other than that, like, bro, he's been a productive guy through his career if you actually do your research. But all of the naysayers and all the talk, man, Hayes, I don't know how you deal with it on a day-to-day with that. I commend you, commend Steve, all you guys, man, how y'all deal with all of that, because some of it, I just know y'all be like, what in the fuck? But then, also, too, I was watching Pat the Designer and everything like that, and they were talking about a possibility of trading for Shamar Stewart. Quite honestly, in my heart of hearts, I don't see that happening. Nor do I see them going and get Trey Henderson unless it's just in the middle of August to say Montez Sweat go down with an injury or something like that, and we need another edge rusher to bring that presence, and Austin Booger don't raise his game up to be that person yet. It ain't gonna happen. So roll the dice, roll with what you got. You can always make a move during the season, which Poe has been prone to do. He didn't do it last year, but the year before that, that's how he got Montez, and then, we were able to get DJ Moore. So, let's just be smart about it. Let's go into training camp. Let's build this fucking team up first. And, hey, keep Caleb right and ball the fuck out. But let me know what you guys think. As always, Chi-Town up, there now.
Yeah, and that was my point in that video was that, eventually maybe they do trade Cole Kmet, but it's the fact that so many outlets have it like the Bears have to make a trade now before they even get to see what their depth really looks like. And it's like the media wants the Bears to make a trade so then they could later judge the Bears for making a trade and sending out depth and talent. It's so stupid, right? It's so stupid. The Bears finally have depth at some positions, and some outlets are so focused on the Bears trading that depth away before we even see it. It's stupid. And I hate that it's happened so commonly with the way that people talk about the Chicago Bears, and I'm glad that they're not doing it. I'm glad that the Bears are going into the season looking at using their depth and using to see how that helps the team get to the point of where they try to be. You can worry about depth later, right? If you have to worry about, all right, Colston Loveland's up for a contract extension, what are we going to do with Cole Kmet? That's operating from a place of luxury, because then you're operating from a place of power. You don't have to try to trade something away before you even see what it looks like. And especially with rookie scale deals and things like that, like I hate what the media has become in the way that they communicate about the Chicago Bears. And especially when it comes down to them trading really good players, it's just stupidity really when it comes down to it. But I'm glad that the Bears aren't doing that. We're going to go into the season, we're going to use our depth, and then we're going to see what we have in it. What may happen down the road happens down the road. But right now the Bears are committed to their depth, and I'm, for one, am not mad at that at all. So we'll see what it turns out to with that one. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from John Johnson.
Bobby, C-Dub, Hayes, Steve O, Kev, how y'all doing? Boy, a little tight as a wedge right now. This boy, South Carolina. This boy, Charles Justin, South Carolina. Hey, want to say what's up? I ain't talked to y'all fellas in a long minute. Love the show all day long. Chicago Bears Central, #1 Bears channel. Tune in. Love y'all guys, man. Hey, number one, I ain't talked to y'all in a long time, but number one, what I want to say is love y'all. Appreciate y'all for doing what y'all doing, the broadcast, keeping us in tune with everything Chicago Bears. I know it all day long. Bears strong. Check this out, guys. Hey, Bear fans through and through, thick and thin, from South Carolina. Check this out. This season right here, I'm expecting a lot from them, but I'm not expecting a lot from them. Because being a Bear fan, you done went through this so many years. So I just want my boys to do good this year, and I got a feeling we're going to do good. If we don't do good, then, oh, well, shit, I'm a Bear fan, so shit, I expect it anyway. But I think we're going to do good. And when I say by doing good is this is a step-by-step process. Everybody think now we got Ben Johnson and we got additional pieces on the team, and yeah, they're good, and I appreciate it. Like Grady and I can't remember other dudes, Dolly, whatever his name is. And then we got additional stuff on offensive end, which is good. But from this point forward, it's a step-by-step process. Last year, I reckon it's going to be a whole lot better than we did last year. I know it's going to be better. If they ain't up for like 2 more wins additional. But every year from that, I expect us to progress and do better. If we win 2 more games more this year than we did last year, then we did our job. The year after that, I expect us to win 3 more games, 4 more games. As long as we keep progressing and doing better, then I can't ask for no more. And eventually we get to the Super Bowl. But everybody needs to stop that. The Bears going to the Super Bowl. And not everybody's saying that. It's certain Bear fans because they're just not used to change or different. And right now we got a big difference. Let's embrace that difference. Let's be patient with it. And then it'll come to us. But this year right here, I'm expecting a great deal, especially out my boy. Hey, you got the same name I got. Jalen Johnson. I'm expecting something good out of him. I'm expecting something good out of Javon Dexter. Javon Dexter going to be a beast in the middle. Him and Big Ball, Billings in the middle. Billings be healthy. Yeah.
There are always going to be fans that have doubt about the Chicago Bears. Now, I haven't seen the guys that you say Bears fans saying that the Bears going to Super Bowl. I honestly have not seen that. But there's a lot of fans that do have doubt about what this Bears team can be. And I think that comes from us seeing this team, getting excited about this team before and being let down. Hopefully this is a team that doesn't let us down this year and that we actually look at this at the end of all of it and say, hey, this Bears team actually competed and they competed damn well and they're doing damn well. And now let's see what we're going to end up being in the future. Let's see what we can grow into going into the future. That's what I hope that we can operate from a place of when it comes into that. And so let's hope that is a thing that they can do. I think overall, regardless of what the expectations or anything are, like you said, this team needs to progress year to year. And I'm not going to put a wins cap on what they can be this year. This is the tone setting year for me. I'm clearing what we did under Matt Eberflus and saying this year, this is the floor setter for me. What can you be this year under the first year of a new head coach, new regime, but tons of talent? Let's see what we can be. And then, of course, year after year, you want to progress at that point. And let's see what the Bears can do. But that's my time for today, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.